Hello everyone, I'm Helen from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you a forget-me-not branch. Each flower branch consists of 6 flowers and 3 leaves. The flowers are made up of flower pieces and calyxes. First, crochet them. After completing, assemble into a flower branch. Here, except for the first round of the flowers, the rest are crocheted using variegated yarn. The starting color segment of this yarn varies. The effect of crocheting will also be slightly different. There are no color requirements for the second round of the flowers. You can choose based on your preference or the finished product. Select suitable color segments for crocheting. Try to use green segments for the calyxes and leaves. Before crocheting, first learn the basic posture for crocheting. To make it clearer for you, I'll demonstrate using thick yarn. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page and the chart. First, begin with a magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands on your left index finger. Hold the overlapping loops with your right thumb and index finger. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop between your left middle finger and thumb. Pick up the hook with your right hand. Insert it into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Continue to chain 1. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. The chain is completed. Pull tight. The magic ring is finished. Next, crochet the first round. Start with a beginning chain. This chain does not count as a stitch. Then, work single crochets into the magic ring. The method for single crochet is, insert into the ring. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. There are 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again. Pull through both loops on your hook. 1 single crochet is completed. There is a V shape formed by 2 strands on the upper right. This is the stitch of the single crochet. Next, chain 2. 1, 2. After completing, continue working single crochets in the ring. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. Second single crochet is completed. Chain 2 after the single crochet. Consider 1 single crochet and 2 chains as 1 group. Repeat the group afterwards. Continue until the last group is completed. I have now completed the last group. After that, close the magic ring. There are 2 loops. Gently pull the starting tail of the yarn. One loop is moving. Tighten the moving loop. One loop remains. Pull tight the remaining loop. The ring is closed. Then slip stitch to the first single crochet. Insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, slip stitch completed. The braid at the upper right is the slip stitch. It does not count as a stitch, needs to be tightened to prevent extra stitches later. Since the next round requires switching colors, you need to fasten off the yarn here, secure with a chain. The securing chain does not count as a stitch. Cut off. This completes the first round. You can leave the yarn tail here for now. Move on to crochet the second round. Take the corresponding color yarn. You can see that there are chain spaces from the previous round. We can insert the hook into any chain space. Here, I'll insert into the chain space on the right side of the yarn tail. First, make a slip knot with the yarn tail. Pull the yarn through. Adjust the loop. Chain 2. Work 3 double crochets in the same position. The technique for double crochet is to yarn over, draw the yarn through. While crocheting, keep all the yarn tails above the hook. Weave in the ends as you go. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. 1 double crochet is now complete. Continue with the second one. Yarn over. Insert into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. Pull through twice. The second double crochet is done. There's only one left. Finish it. Continue inserting into the same stitch. The third double crochet is completed. After completing, chain 2. Work a slip stitch. Insert the hook into the same stitch. Draw through all loops at once. Note that this slip stitch doesn't need to be tightened. Consider the 2 chains from beginning to the slip stitch as a small petal. Now a small petal is completed. Continue to crochet the second small petal. Before starting work 1 loose slip stitch. Transition to the second chain space. Then begin crocheting the petal. Chain 2. 3 double crochets. While crocheting, pay attention to weaving in the ends. Chain 2. One slip stitch. The second petal is completed. Cut the excess tail now. Repeat this method to crochet slip stitches and petals. Continue all the way down to the last petal. Now I have completed the last petal. Next, work one slip stitch in the chain space, where the yarn was joined. This completes round 2. Secure with a chain. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. Weave in the ends on the wrong side. This completes one flower piece. Next, work the calyx. The calyx is also crocheted in rounds using the magic ring. Please watch me demonstrate. First, start with the magic ring. The method is the same as the flower piece. The magic ring is done. Next, make one beginning chain. Then start working single crochets. Single crochet completed. Continue with one chain. One slip stitch. For this slip stitch, insert into these two strands of the single crochet. Do not tighten this slip stitch. Slip stitch completed. Consider from the single crochet to the slip stitch as one group. Repeat this group. Continue to work the second one. First crochet one single crochet. Then one chain. Continue slip stitch into these two strands of the single crochet. The second group is completed. Follow this method, finish the last group. Now I have finished. Next, close the ring. Then slip stitch into the first single crochet. Tighten this slip stitch. Chain 1. Leave about 40 centimeters yarn tail, and cut the yarn. You can see the clear texture on the right side. The texture is blurry on the wrong side. Weave the starting yarn tail on the wrong side. Next, insert into the ring and bring the reserved yarn tail to the right side. Up to this point, the calyx is finished. After completing, now assemble the flower. Take a piece of thin wire. Each time you assemble the flower, the length of the thin wire doesn't need to be exactly the same. Around 25 centimeters is sufficient. This will make the assembly look nicer later. I have already cut a piece. Next, find the center of the flower piece. Thread the wire through. This secures the flower piece in place. Continue threading on the calyx. Insert from the other end of the yarn tail. With the right side of the calyx facing out. After threading, take out the glue. Secure the flower piece and the calyx. Apply a little glue. Now, start working the flower stem. Apply some glue underneath the calyx. Start wrapping with the previously reserved tail. The wrapping distance is about 5 centimeters. You can also adjust according to your preference. When you reach the middle position, apply a little more glue. Now I have wrapped it to the corresponding length. Apply glue to the end as well. Cut the yarn tail. Squeeze it tightly. Now one flower is completed. Complete the rest of the flowers in the same way. After the flowers, let's making the leaves. The leaves start with the foundation chain, and working in round. While crocheting, add thin wire. The new stitch is the half double crochet. Please watch me demonstrate. Before crocheting, take a piece of thin wire. The length of the wire is indicated in the chart. I have already cut it here. Set it aside for later use. Next, work the foundation chain. For convenience in watching, I will demonstrate using a different color. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page and the chart. First, start with a chain. Take the end of the yarn around your little finger. Thread it between the middle finger and index finger. Then, pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the hook with your right hand. Place it below the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten. Make sure the loop on the hook is not too tight. This makes it easier for crocheting later. Now start crocheting chains. One chain is completed. Such a braid represents one stitch. Continue crocheting chains. Refer to the chart for the number of chains. I have now completed the required number. The foundation chain is completed. After completing, make one beginning chain. Then find the second chain from the left. Such a V shape represents one stitch. 1, 2, which is right here. Pick up the top loop of the chain. Work a single crochet. Insert the hook. Place the wire above the hook. Below the yarn. Work a single crochet. This single crochet is completed. The thin wire is wrapped in. Leave a section of the thin wire on the right side unworked. Continue crocheting down. Pick up the top loop of the chain. Work a half double crochet. The technique for half double crochet is to yarn over. Insert the hook. Mind to wrap the wire. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook now. Yarn over and draw through all the loops. This half double crochet is completed. Next, work 8 double crochets evenly. Insert into the left stitch. The wire is always above the hook and below the yarn. One double crochet is done. On this side, crochet into the top loop of the chains and wrap the wire each time. I won't repeat this again. Finish the remaining double crochets. After completing, work 2 half double crochets evenly. Let me demonstrate. Yarn over. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Draw through. Half double crochet is completed. Continue to crochet the remaining one. After completing, work 1 single crochet. Finish it. Now we are at the last chain. Crochet 3 single crochets into the same loop. and bend the thin wire on this end. Now we are on the other side. When crocheting this side, place the thin wire and the starting yarn tail together above the hook. Work a single crochet into 2 strands of the adjacent chain. This is the same entry position for this single crochet. Note not to crochet into the entry position of the top 3 single crochets. Continue in the adjacent position. Crochet 1/2 double crochet. The stitches on both sides of the petal are symmetrical. Let's turn it over and look. The single crochet and half double crochet here has a corresponding single crochet and half double crochet on the opposite side. You can check later if you've made any mistakes. Continue to crochet 1/2 double crochet and the corresponding double crochets. After completing, crochet 1/2 double crochet. Then crochet 2 single crochets in the first single crochet. Right here. Slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Chain 1. Cut the yarn. You can leave the yarn tail. That's how to make the leaf. Follow this method to crochet the rest of the leaves. After completing, now assemble the small branch. A small branch consists of 3 leaves and 6 flowers. Now, please watch me demonstrate. First, take 6 flowers and thick wire. Note, I will only demonstrate the method here. The colors are not for reference. Follow the actual crocheting. Place the flowers and the thick wire. The height of the flowers is not fixed. You can adjust freely. Place the thick wire underneath the wrapped yarn. Apply glue to the wire. Take out the corresponding yarn. Leave a short yarn tail at the bottom. Then start wrapping. The wrapping method is similar to before. Pull tight while wrapping. After a few rounds, add 2 leaves. Continue wrapping. Wrap all the yarn tails and the wire in. Apply glue after wrapping a certain distance. Wrap for about 2 centimeters, then add another leaf and continue wrapping. You can adjust the distance here as you like. Follow this method. And keep wrapping down. Wrap until you reach the desired length. Leave about 10 centimeters unwrapped at the bottom. Apply glue at the end. Cut the yarn. Squeeze tightly. Finally, tidy up the shape. Now the branch is assembled. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our customer service. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, enjoying the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.